for joining us today on ECFAO. Welcome to the program. I'm Ayola Kasim. Trees and forests are crucial for assisting efforts to meet the new Sustainable Development Goals, given their role in absorbing carbon, cleaning and cooling the air, acting as natural water pumps to sustain river flows, stabilizing soils, recycling nutrients for agriculture, and supporting habitats for wildlife, to name just a few of their gifts to humanity. But the forest and all it provides for human benefits are at risk. How does this affect you? And what can we all do? Are some of the things we'll look at today on the program. Do stay with us. Forests are essential for life on Earth. 300 million people worldwide live in forests, and 1.6 billion depend on them for their livelihoods. Forests also provide habitat for a vast array of plants and animals, many of which are still undiscovered. They protect our watersheds. They inspire wonder and provide places for recreation. They supply the oxygen we need to survive. They provide the timber for products we use every day. But forests are being destroyed and degraded at alarming rates. Deforestation comes in many forms, including fires, clear-cutting for agriculture, ranching and development, unsustainable logging for timber, and degradation due to climate change. This impacts people's livelihoods and threatens a wide range of plant and animal species. Some 46 to 58 million square miles of forest are lost each year, equivalent to 48 football fields every minute. As the human population continues to grow, there is an obvious need for more food. In addition, agricultural products such as soy and palm oil are used in an ever-increasing list of products, from animal feed to lipstick and biofuels. Rising demand has created incentives to convert forests to farmland and pasture land. Once a forest is lost to agriculture, it is usually gone forever, along with many of the plants and animals that once lived there. National laws regulate the production and trade of timber products at all stages, from harvesting to processing to sales. These laws can be violated in any number of ways, such as taking wood from protected areas, harvesting more than is permitted, and harvesting protected species. Illegal logging occurs around the world, and in some places, illegal logging is more common than the legal variety. The Cross River State government in Nigeria is having some challenges in curbing activities of illegal loggers.
Back here in Cross River State, the drivers of deforestation are many. People just cut down trees for timber. Some cut down the whole forest in order to make farm. Some just cut it because they want to do some level of development or the other. All of that contributes to drivers of or constitute drivers of deforestation. People are still logging, even as I speak. But it will take a while. It's a process. They may, because of lack of understanding on the part of some people, they will not be able to, you can't convince them to just wake up overnight and say, okay, stop logging. Its process is dialogue. We have this green police, which we have just launched. That is an aspect of our ministry. That's an arm of our ministry that's going to deal with the loggers, okay? Now, dealing with the loggers is not just going to stand there and beat them up or shoot them down. That won't work. The green police are going to work through the communities, because truth be told, no stranger can walk into anybody's community and start cutting forest without the consent of the dwellers of that community. So we are developing we're adopting a different approach, the approach of dialogue with the communities. So that's what basically our green police will be doing. They'll be interfacing with the communities through their chiefs, the women leaders, the youth leaders, the opinion leaders, and other community leaders within wherever they are sent to. They'll be working with those community leaders to see to it, to appeal to them that, look, if you allow strangers to come and cut down your forest, it is your children, your posterity that will suffer.
Poor communities near forests are often vulnerable when outsiders try to gain control over the timber nearby, which can lead to repression and human rights violations. Wood is still a popular fuel choice for cooking and heating around the world. And about half of the illegal removal of timber from forests is thought to be for use as firewood. The country lost over 2 million hectares of forest annually between 2005 and 2010, driven by agricultural expansion, logging, and infrastructure development, according to the risk analysis and mapping company Maplecroft. Wood fuel such as charcoal remains one of Africa's main energy sources for cooking and heating. Thousands of illegal traders in the country produce charcoal that mostly ends up with secretive export syndicates operating from the commercial capital, Lagos. Environmentalists warn that this multi-million-dollar industry is a major threat to Nigeria's forests if not checked. Deforestation is a major cause of climate change and environmental degradation.
Most of the wood we chop here from our woodlands, we burn them, so we are literally burning our forests. And there's a very simple means of reducing this, because if you ask the people why are they cutting down the trees and is it not bad for the environment, they will tell you they know, but they don't have alternative. Kerosene is expensive for some people, especially during the time of fuel crisis. Very few people can afford gas. That's if at all, if they know even how to use it. Electricity, how many people cook with electricity? So you see, most of the people depend on the biomass. And this is causing a lot of environmental hazards for us.
Protected areas are not immune to farm expansion, which is challenging conservationists to find a sustainable and appropriate balance. To overcome this challenge, a measure was introduced, the forest carbon credits, a new kind of green commodity that can be traded on an international carbon market. The credits are generated by successfully halting deforestation and land degradation at targeted sites, thereby reducing carbon dioxide emissions. Carbon offsetting delivers finance to essential renewable energy, forestry, and resource conservation projects, which generate reductions in greenhouse gas emissions. In order to ensure this finance delivers genuine results, the projects which are supported must be high quality and additional, proving that they will not happen without the sale of carbon credits. Projects follow a comprehensive set of validation and verification procedures to demonstrate that they are generating emission reductions and are monitored on a regular basis through independent third parties. In an effort to preserve trees, enable companies, conservation groups, and countries to invest in forests as offset for carbon emissions, governance is particularly important given studies' suggestion that agricultural interventions be given more national and international prominence under the Reducing Emissions from Deforestation and Forest Degradation Framework, otherwise known as RED program. The RED program is an ongoing international effort to develop and fund projects for reducing emissions related to forests in developing countries.
The issue of RED Plus was looking at helping the local communities to preserve their forests, preserve their natural resources, such that it continued to absorb the carbon, thereby trying to balance the issue of climate change. But some people have also pickled and say a place like a country like Canada will continue to emit, or a country like US continue to emit, and you continue to conserve your forest. But you also agree with me that apart from the payment that countries will make for your trees that absorb carbon, there's also the ecosystem services such forests provides for you. Watershed. Averagely, when river runs through a forest, it purifies it more. Averagely, when there's a forest somewhere, it purifies the air more. Averagely, when a forest in a particular area, it reduces the heat around. So you have to look at also the ecosystem services such things provide, not just looking at the tax that the civilized country or the industrialized country of the world is also paying. And don't forget, they also have investment in Africa, which some of this climate change, this REDD+ thing will actually help you to address. If you have a big industry that relies on a lot of water, let's say manufacturing, then whatever you're paying is actually helping to protect your investment in a way.
Under the REDD program, countries propose projects and generate verifiable credits from avoided emissions, which are then purchased to offset emissions incurred elsewhere. The federal government of Nigeria, reinforced by pioneering efforts from Cross River State, started to engage in REDD+ in 2009 and became a partner country of the UN REDD program in February 2010. The Nigeria REDD+ Readiness Program envisions a two-track approach to achieve REDD+ readiness in Nigeria based on the development of institutional and technical capacities at federal level and carrying out intense institutional strategy building and demonstration activities in Cross River State. Between 2012 and 2014, $4 million was spent on the UN REDD program in Nigeria.
We are almost at the end of the readiness phase. Readiness phase means getting ready for the investment of the donors in the Cross River State forest so that the forest-bearing communities can finally begin to benefit. Forest-bearing communities were probably thinking that, okay, as soon as UNDP comes, in the next 2-3 months, they will begin to get the benefit. They didn't know that there was a phase of preparing and getting ready before the main investment into the forest will come. And so that's the phase we are just concluding. And by June this year, that phase, in fact, we're just doing the reports now. We are at the report stage now. So, and in the next couple of months, we'll be through with the reports and we'll launch out. Now, the actual investment is that we will be able to sell the people who live, the forest dwellers, the communities that are forest dwellers, forest-bearing communities, will be able to sell their carbon.
Experts have warned that forests remain Nigeria's most undervalued resource, and as long as planners and policymakers continue to disregard the economic importance of the forest sector, as well as those of sectors and activities that depend or impact it, so will forests continue to be degraded and lost, and their potentially vast economic opportunities will be lost.